Hey gamers, Maniac here once again with GameAccess.net doing another Xbox One game review. And what better way to do it than once again completely by the power of the Xbox One and the Kinect. Today we're going to be talking about Loco Cycle. Loco Cycle is an Xbox One exclusive game developed by Twisted Pixel, who you might remember from making games like Explosion Man and Comic Jumper. It's coming to the Xbox 360 this year, but for right now it's only out for the Xbox One. The game's story revolves around an intelligent motorbike called Iris, which was built by a subsidiary of Big Science called Big Arms. They get struck by lightning, which strikes some of its systems out of whack. And while in a phase of being malfunctioning, it watches a promo for a motorcycle rally at Scottsburg, Indiana, and wants to check it out and meet Miss Scottsburg, Indiana. While working on it, Pablo, her technician, played by Freddy Rodriguez, gets caught in the rear tire axle and basically is along for the ride. Hijinks, as these two go across the country, certainly do ensue. The game's story is mostly told through these very well-produced FMV cutscenes.
We have made it.
The game's main actress is Lisa Foyles, who does the voice of the bike Iris. But as you can see, Freddy Rodriguez also joins her as Pablo, Iris's technician.
Indeed. Come, Pablo. We shall look around for a bit.
Hey, man, is that Torque Chops? I love Torque Chops, man. That's my favorite magazine.
The gameplay is awesome. Not only can you shoot from your bike, but you can also do all kinds of cool kung fu moves and things with the help of Pablo. The frame rate is totally solid, as is the resolution. I don't think this is higher than 720, but it sure felt like this game was running at a solid 60 frames a second. The game does a really good job giving variety to all the different levels. Each different world has its own distinct flavor, ranging from the areas of Florida to the coasts of Miami to the canyons of Utah, all the way up into the farmlands. It's really, really cool seeing all the different environments. The game also has these quick time segments, which you're seeing here, where you can interact while mayhem just explodes all around you. They don't add much to the gameplay, and there's no real way to fail them, but they're good for points and they're good for some great laughs. There's also boss fights to cap off every section, which adds a really bit of diversity and variety to the gameplay itself. The final boss fight actually reminded me a lot of Twitch's original Laserdisc battles, where you have rail shooting segments over FMVs. Really thought of that when I saw this. The game also has its own unlockable content in the form of the garage. There's a ton of content here, both from a gameplay perspective as well as a production perspective. Twisted Pixel has been offering tons of bonus content with their games ever since Captain Smiley. And I've seen them from Comic Jumper to Explosion Man and the Gunstringer. There's just as much content here as there was in some of the retail games that I've seen. You can download and look up pictures from the production, concept art, in-game cinematics, behind-the-scenes videos. So much content is here for a $20 game. I have to say, I think that the mainstream game review media has been really unfair to this game. A lot of it considered it derisive or repetitive. Let me just say this right now. This was the first game I installed to the Xbox One when I unboxed it. This was the first game that I played all the way through from beginning to end once I had the Xbox One. I could have played any other game, but for some odd reason, I had to play this game. And once I started playing it, I just couldn't stop until I had finished it. I don't know what that says about the game. I don't know what that says about the game's developers. I really like Twisted Pixel. I think that they're a great bunch of developers who have done some great games like Splosion Man, Ms. Splosion Man, and of course my personal favorite from them, Comic Jumper: The Adventures of Captain Smiley. Their pedigree alone was what made me interested in this game day one, but the game was good, and I really enjoyed it so much that I had to play through the entire game all the way through in pretty much a day. I can't even say I did that for Dead Rising 3. I still haven't beaten that game yet. So, those are just my 2 cents on the game. It's worth a pickup. It's $20 on Xbox Live Marketplace. I thought it was worth the purchase. And it's going to be coming to the Xbox 360 pretty soon. Till next time, guys, this is Maniac with GameAccess.net. Over and out. And Twisted Pixel, make Comic Jumper 2.